Hey Triple members, it's me, Monkey Dragon here, and the topic of today's video is Destiny, the beta. My thoughts and opinions. And with that, let's go and begin. Okay guys, so if you guys don't know, there's a game coming out, it's called Destiny, there's a beta now, at first exclusive beta information on PlayStation 4, later it'll be coming to Xbox One, and there'll be a level increase and other things to the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, and let's put the rest to the concept voice right there, and let's go in and continue talking about this thing. So first off, we're going to talk about campaign, then we'll go in and talk about multiplayer. So the first thing that I want to talk about campaign is the two things that I kind of dislike about it, and the first being that there is no way for you to lower your audio settings in the game as it is right now. I don't know if that's a beta thing or if that's the way they're going to include it in the game. Hopefully they don't. But there's singing in the game, and it is so annoying because you can't hear your friends when you're playing with them because it's just so loud it drowns them out. I really love it if they were to put that option in this way I can lower it down and actually hear my friends when we're talking. So that's like one of the few things that I hate about that. The next thing, when you're playing with your friends in a fire team, which is the way that you party up and whatnot, you're able to hear them, and it's almost like you're hearing them inside your helmet. And when you're transitioning to different areas, you actually hear them differently. When you're super close quarters, they just sound a little bit louder with like an echo. When you're outside, they're a little bit muffled. When you're inside a room with like that looks like it would echo, it freaking echoes like crazy. There's more different environments where it changes the audio quite a bit, which is nice. But the one thing that I don't like about it, which I think is a really cool gimmick, don't get me wrong, it's really cool. I like that a little advanced thing in there. I just hate how drastic it is when it changes to the different areas. I wish there was a little bit more normality, if you will. Like, when you're outside, maybe it's a little bit more muffled, instead of like, oh god, I can't fucking hear you. Look outside, there's so many oceans and birds and shit, I can't really hear you anymore. Like, I wish it wasn't like that. And then when you go inside and there's an echo, it's like, echo, 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 oh my god, blah, 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 watch out, blah, 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 watch out. I wish there wasn't a fucking crazy echo like that. Like, how drastic it is when it changes. Don't really care for it too much, but yeah, I wish they were to make it a little bit more even, if you will. Anyways, guys, let's go and talk about the actual campaign beyond those two things that I really don't like. The first being is I like the ability that you're able to spawn in a vehicle and get to places much quicker. That's a really cool feature. You don't have to like, oh, here's at the spawn point, I got this vehicle, oh shit, my vehicle blew up. Fuck, now you need to track and then walk, the rest of this different distance. You're able to just constantly spawn in this vehicle and drive. It's not like a thing where it's like spawn in, spawn in, spawn in, spawn in, and just builds up. No, when you spawn one thing in, it stays there. Then when you spawn in the other one, it deletes it and whatnot. But yeah, it's a really cool feature. Helps you get around the map much quicker, and I enjoy that. Speaking of maps, I'm going to go and talk about two different things. One, there is no map that you're able to pull up and look. I don't know if that's a beta thing or if that's a actual game thing, if there will be a map later on. The way it's designed is that it looks like there wouldn't be a map because it's actually pretty fluid into the game. What you do is you push the touchpad button. I always forget what this thing is called. You push that, and you pull up your little ghost guy, which is your little buddy who talks to you in your head and whatnot because you're crazy. You should probably get checked out. Anyways, he pulls up all the little waypoints that you're supposed to do in your little quest and stuff, and he talks to you, and he's like, okay, this is where we need to go. And that stays up for quite a bit, and then it eventually dissipates, which is nice because it keeps your head from getting cluttered. So that's pretty cool. It seems pretty well designed, so I don't think that there will be a map because that feature itself kind of replaces the map. But yeah, the reason why I say there could be a map, or the reason why there isn't a map, is because they may not include it right now because they don't want people to pull up the map and go, oh my god, look at all this amazing stuff. Oh my god, this is where we're going to go. So that's one reason why they could not include a map. The other reason is all they want is you to do is just pull up your little ghost buddy who talks into your head. That's right, you talk to ghosts. Anyways, the last part of the map. Basically you spawn into one central point and it's like, oh, here's level 1, here's level 6, here's level 4, and you basically kind of expand into the paths, and it's the same map every single time you expand out, which is cool for this one reason. The way the levels change for when you're being like a level 8 character to a level 1 character is the scaling is different in this sense. Like in Borderlands, when you're like a level 30 guy and this is a level 1 guy and he shoots you, it's like boom, oh god, did you even touch me? It's like a 1 freaking attack point off your shield, which is like 20 bajillion. Quite literally it could be 20 bajillion. Anyways, in here it's different. When they hit you, it's 30 instead of doing like 50 damage. So when you're exploring and you're running into a whole bunch of level 1s, it's not like, these guys are doing nothing to me, let's kill them. You can still kill them, you can kill them quicker, and they do less damage to you, but they could still definitely kill you, which keeps it from getting less boring when you're exploring and you're going out to the level 8 guys trying to kill them and rank up and get more XP and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Really quickly, I will say there's a level cap right now for us PlayStation guys to be level 8. So that's why most of my suggestions are going to be level 8 things. Because right now there's level cap, but they are planning to expand it. Anyways, let's go and get back to it. So I like that weird level cap that they have. One thing I will say is that when you're level 5 and you're trying to fight like a level 8 guy, and I'm talking about, you know, this is once again campaign, not actually talking about multiplayer guys, is that you're completely outbalanced there. Like, you'll get wrecked. And that's one thing that's really cool. So it really keeps like a really finite ceiling on you so that, you know, you're still becoming really powerful when you're going up in the level, but it's not like, oh my god, now nothing in front of me kills me. No, these guys still do plenty of damage, and they have like a weird combat system in themselves, in that it's not like stand still robot, boom 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 boom, got you. It's more that they move around and they have a lot of animations and different abilities, and they'll melee you and stuff, and they move around a lot. One thing that I'll say that they did kind of nicely, although I kind of hate it too, is that when they shoot bullets, which I like to call sperm because of immaturity and whatnot, because they're white and they have comments and stuff, immaturity on my part. And they seek you out and they follow you. So instead of just shooting like 1 or 2 bullets, it's basically like, and that's why I say at 30, because they hit you in chunks of damage. And so they move around, so they're not easy targets, and they shoot you with bullets that track you, although they don't always hit, so that if you jump away or something or move behind cover, you know, you'll still be fine. And you can take a decent amount of these things, depending on the enemies that you're facing. You know, there's like the melee units, well, the basic melee units that don't really do much damage, you can kind of take out. Then there's the higher end ones, what are like the stealth guys, and they do more damage and take more damage. You can kill those guys. Then you got the shooters, which are the basic shooters, which, you know, don't do much damage. You can kill them, you know, just scaling in different characters and whatnot. But it's pretty decent combat. One thing that I will say, the bosses that you do fight, it is kind of ridiculous in this one and only sense, is that they don't fire often and they don't do much. What they do is they take a shit ton of damage, just constantly. You'll just pour tons and tons of damage to you, and it's not like it's like, oh, I hit you, oh, I hit you, oh, I hit you, I'm killing you, you know, as me being the boss and I'm hitting you, the guardian. It's not like quick jabs. What it is like taking tons of damage, and he's moving around just like spinning, like, I won't kill you, I will kill you, then and then he shoots a powerful beam and he fucking one hit kills you. Like, that's the way the bosses are in this game. They don't do much, and then they just hit you with a powerful beam and they fucking kill you. Like, that's the sucky part of the game. I wish it was a little bit more like of a boss battle, if you will. It's more like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you with these things, I'm gonna get you with this thing. This way, it's like the one boss is overwhelming, and yeah, that's my one complaint about the bosses when you're fighting them, is that they don't seem to do much. And that the only thing that makes them bosses is that they do a shit ton of damage, and that they deal a bunch. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about, but anyways, that's pretty much all for campaign. Oh, really quickly, fire teams. I'm not 100% sure if I talked about this, because I know I mentioned it here and there. Fire teams is basically your party system to which you invite your friends to come play with you, whether it be in multiplayer or in campaign. As far as I'm aware, in campaign, you can only invite 6 of your friends, or I apologize, in campaign, you can only invite 6 of your friends. In multiplayer, you can only invite 6 of your... God, I don't know if I screwed that up. Campaign, you can only invite 3. Multiplayer, you can only invite 6. I'm sorry. It's freaking late. But anyways, guys, let's go and move on to multiplayer. Campaign, thumbs up for me. You guys already know my complaints. Let's move on to multiplayer. So in multiplayer, I'll say this. The scaling for levels and armor and stuff in there, and we'll talk about this for a bit, and balancing and whatnot. I like it for the most part. It's really, really good. There's, in campaign, you know, there's things called like attack damage, which does damage to the bots and stuff, you know, the people that you fight in there. But in the game, what's really in there is the stats of the gun, which carries over to both things, but is only essential in not only essential in multiplayer, but is the only thing, a part of the gun stats that is really essential in multiplayer. You know, like, here's your fire rate, here's your impact, and impact is your damage. Then you have, you know, your recoil, you have your there's a few more stats in there. You have your, man, I'm sorry, I can't really think. You got your range on there. They have a few stats in there that carry over to multiplayer, and then you got your sub abilities on your guns too. when you're using common weapons, they're white, they don't really do much. When you're using more rare guns, such as the green ones, which are the uncommons, you get an ability to, or you don't get the ability, you get the option to upgrading your gun. You know, you can switch it from, and it depends on the gun too. Different guns will have different abilities on them. One, you know, it's like, oh, you're making this gun now a range thing. It's not your choice, it's just an option for you. You know, getting different guns of the same type, of the same manufacturer and stuff, you can get different options, which is why they say there's a lot of guns, but really there's only a few. So sometimes you can make it to where the ability is now when you shoot people, more bullets get added directly into the magazine. So it's like when you're killing, you know, little guys for the story mission, it's like okay, now I got a few more bullets, I can keep shooting. It doesn't reply, you know, an endless cycle of bullets because, you know, depending on how many bullets it takes to kill someone, you still have to eventually reload. But guns and abilities, those things stay with you. But for the most part, the damage scale for different levels is even. Everyone gets the same amount of health, everyone gets the same amount of shields. All the stuff from campaign that makes you powerful is gone. The only thing that carries over is your little tiny abilities. And this is the only difference where level matters, is that as you level up your character yourself, you get different abilities such as guns, jumping. Different people have different jumping styles. For me, I get double jumps because I'm the hunter. I forget who gets the glide, but other people get different little things. So those things, as you get into higher levels, you get more access to different abilities for your character themselves. Kind of like just leveling up in Call of Duty, you get access to different perks. So, you know, right now, I get access to the secret grenade, which I throw, boom, it bursts up into like 6 different grenades. They sit there, someone walks, they don't always sit there, they eventually dissipate. But if someone walks through them or gets close to them, they'll seek them out and then detonate next to them. So, you know, a lower level guy will have a basic grenade, I'll have a secret grenade, and I can eventually upgrade to a tripwire grenade. And then you got different focuses and stuff for your character yourself. You have 3 different abilities. One is armor, one is agility, and one is recovery, which I'm sure that you can all figure out what all that is. You know, how fast you jump, how fast you move is obviously the agility. Your armor, how much damage you can take, and your recovery, how fast you regenerate your shields and health. Although I did say everyone gets the same stuff, I'm just saying everyone gets the same base stuff, and then your things can change it from there. Not your armor itself from campaign, but your abilities for your characters. You can go training focuses, which, let's say it's like, you get a boost in your armor, and, you know, you reduce your agility. You can choose that one, or you get this one, and, you know, different characters get different ones. But, yeah, it's pretty, that's the only disadvantage to higher level people is they get different abilities and they're able to customize their character to be a role that they want more. But that's kind of the thing in multiplayer, in any multiplayer game. It's not really an unbalanced thing. Is that, you know, lower level people, it's not so much they get stomped on. Usually they have the same basic stuff as everyone else. They just may not have access to the higher end stuff and be able to customize and fine-tune their player a little bit more. So yeah, that's a freaking thing. The balancing is pretty fair. You know, your weapons and everything. And when you're coming into the fight, it all depends on how you're customizing everything. So, you know, if you have a burst rifle and you're not using it correctly, you can kind of get wrecked by someone who's using an auto rifle. And that's what it's called, an auto rifle, not an assault rifle. But if you want to, you can call it an AR. Anyways, so balancing itself is pretty well done. I really do enjoy it. It's pretty good. If you're going in there early level, once again, you may not have access. If you're skipping the tutorial, you may not be able to get your heavy weapon because that's the thing that you get later on in the tutorial. You also get access to your grenades and stuff. So if you're a level 1 guy, you may not have access to anything. Although you should complete the tutorial and you'll come out like level 3 and you'll have access to, you know, your grenades, your melee damage, you know, your special ability for your melee, and your heavy weapons and stuff, and then go into multiplayer. Just wait a little bit. But yeah, all in all, it's pretty well balanced. That stuff is all good. Really quickly, I kind of want to talk about the vehicles on one map, which is Moon. Since we only have access to 2, we should get expanded later on. We have 2 maps. One's called Venus, which is a jungle planet. It's pretty close quarters. Then there's Moon, which is a lot more open. And there's vehicles in there. And the vehicles are kind of touchy. Although you could probably take them out pretty decently. Me, personally, I haven't had much luck in that aspect. But if you use your special abilities, you could do pretty much good damage and take out the vehicles. I find that if you don't have your special abilities or you don't have the right rocket launcher or something equipped and you didn't get access to the heavy weapons, that there really isn't a way to take these things out unless you use the vehicles. And the problem there is that, you know, when 2 tanks go up head-to-head, boom, one destroys the other one, then the other one recovers its shield and health, and now you have a fully powerful tank, and you have to wait for your tank to respawn. You don't want to instant respawn a tank so that it's like, oh, we have fucking unlimited tanks. So You don't want that at all. And I just find it a ways that maybe the tank, they're not real tanks, they're more like heavily armored bikes, which are also in the game, which just basically shoot, little machine guns, if you will, but they're energy weapons. And yeah, I wish there was a little bit less health in those things. This way, average people can take them out, because spawning in the heavy weapon ammo doesn't happen too often. And only one player gets it, unless a bunch of people crowd together and they all just, if you all sit there next to the heavy ammo and you grab it, everyone gets heavy ammo, but only in the immediate vicinity, not your whole team. So it's kind of difficult to take them out. I wish they had less health. That's probably one drag that I do have on it. But for the most part, the combat itself is good. Guns versus people and whatnot, when you're going against the different classes, everyone has their own advantages. Yeah, I really like the balancing. I think it's pretty solid. That's all I can really say so far, since it is an early beta and we really don't have a full scope of everything that we can do. We don't have access to everything. I will say the multiplayer is fun. The campaign is fun. I like the aspect of fire teams. Yeah, that's pretty much going to end it there. All in all, it's a fun game. I enjoy it. There's a few things that I don't like here and there, and I think they should tweak and change. But for the most part, it's a fun freaking game. I'm enjoying playing it, and we continue to play it. I'm actually still going to probably stream it today on Twitch, if you're watching this as it is. Still live. I'm going to be streaming it on Twitch. Links down below and whatnot. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy it, maybe leave a like, or if you think your friend will like it, maybe share it with them. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more of my videos, go and hit that subscribe button. If you want, and you're feeling a little bit more click happy, maybe click my Twitter, and in your feed you get tweets every single time I go live. I don't tweet a lot, but I do reply a lot, so this way I don't jam up people's feeds, because I hate that. I hate when I see one person or a company just spam build my feed. That sucks. So I try not to do too much. Yeah, I'm Monkey Dream. So I really got it, guys. Peace.